everyone. It's Dr. Cleopatra and we are here as always for educational purposes only. And we are here. Hi there. Hi there. We are here to talk today about the couples questions that we've been receiving about preparing to bring a baby into a very messy world, which is what people feel like they're grappling with a lot right now. So we're going to touch on this question that we've received a couple of times over the last few weeks. And let's see, we are live on Facebook and on Instagram, and we are looking out for your comments on Facebook especially. Let's see, since for some reason Facebook doesn't tend to show us comments. We see you on Instagram. Hey everybody. Hi Jam Cam and Millie and Sarah. Hi Sarah and Aaron and Pueblo Street and Divi. Those are cute. Okay, welcome everybody. So first we have a couple really cool things happening that we want to share about before we dive into the meat of today's couples Q&A. And I know that there's a lot of hard stuff that people are coping with and having conversations about in the world, and we want to dive into that with you too and be here to help and support you as you navigate these difficult conversations that you're having with others and really that you're having internally as well. And before we do that, let us share a couple of really cool things. So we are giving away the Bliss and Change Scholarship to 5 scholarship recipients by the end of this week. We're so excited. Hey, Dr. Catherine, we're so excited. And we received dozens of applications. Thank you so much to everybody who applied. We cannot wait to award these scholarships. The scholarships are designed to support female identifying persons or people who are working to create positive change in the world. And we ask them about the things that they're doing to take positive measures to ensure that the work that they're doing out in the world doesn't change who they are at their core, doesn't change their heart, doesn't detract from their bliss, their ability to enjoy their life, and especially doesn't dim their light or their fertility, because we are here to create positive epigenetic change that can be passed down across generations during the primester. And the opposite of those positive forces that we're here to create are when we are confronted over and over again with the kind of stressors that tax our bodies, tax our stress response systems, and that stress becomes reflected in our epigenome that we pass down to our children and our grandchildren. And this is one of the many ways that intergenerational stress and intergenerational trauma get passed down. And so we want to help to intercept those processes with you and for you. Hi, everybody. Oh my God, so many of you are here. We're so happy you're here. Let's see, Dr. Catherine's here. Shout out to Dr. Catherine and Christine, Nicole, Anne. Hi, Anne. So good to have all of you here. So we are so fortunate because we have an amazing partner in this round of scholarships. Prove is a company that has developed at-home testing strips for ensuring or assessing whether you have in fact ovulated. And the way that this is done is by measuring progesterone levels. And this is one way that you can confirm at home that you've ovulated. So even when you use different tools to identify ovulation, you still want to ensure that you've ovulated by testing the rise in your progesterone and ensuring that it rises above a certain threshold, and also that it still stays elevated for a certain number of days. All of these pieces are needed in order to allow for pregnancy to occur, allow for an embryo to, or a fertilized egg to implant in the uterine lining and to continue to grow. So as those of you who do the primester protocol know, and especially those of you who have already gotten to the piece of the primester protocol called get pregnant in no time formula, we recommend the Prove progesterone at home testing strips to ensure, to confirm that you've ovulated. And we're so excited to have partnered with Prove, and they're going to be providing a box of supplies for each of our 5 Bliss and Change Scholarship awardees. So we are so excited about that. Shout out to Prue for this incredible partnership and support of our community and of the Bliss and Change Scholarship. And we're looking forward to many more collaborations. It worked out so perfectly because we were already utilizing them. And so we're excited to be able to make that happen for all of you. So that's the first thing that we wanted to share. And the second thing is that I got to speak with Kelly Levesque of Be Well by Kelly. And that episode of Kelly's podcast went live yesterday, and just in time for her to celebrate 1 million downloads in just 5 months. Congratulations, Kelly. That is so freaking awesome. That must feel so good to know that the work that you're doing in the world is reaching so many people. And thank you for sharing about the Primester, for sharing our work at the Fertility and Pregnancy Institute, and ensuring that women everywhere get to benefit from utilizing this incredible window of opportunity called the Primester. Thank you so much, Dr. Catherine. These scholarships are so amazing. Disrupting the epigenetics and the intergenerational trauma. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I just started listening to it today and it's been so great so far. Oh, I'm so glad, Jam Cam. Thank you for sharing that. We've gotten really great feedback. It's gotten so many beautiful private messages. It really makes my heart soar, as in soar happy, soar high to the clouds. And thank you so much for sharing your incredible feedback. Love to know the thing that was most mind-blowing for you that you learned. And just want to welcome all of the beautiful new faces that we have here. We're so excited to have you here. And congratulations again, Kelly, on 1 million downloads. So exciting. So those are the things that we wanted to start out by sharing. And we want to jump into the more substantive and kind of messy topic about how do you prepare for bringing a baby into a messy world. Hi, Abby. So happy you're here. Into a messy world. And one of the things that we've been hearing a lot for the last couple of weeks from people of all colors, from mainly from our mamas, but also from some partners, some of their partners as well. This has come from our African American and Black mamas, our other person of color mamas, and also our white mamas, feeling like they're feeling so much sadness about what's happening in the world. They're feeling overwhelmed by how big this problem that is coming to the surface is. And I want to be clear that this problem is not just happening for the first time. This problem has been going on for hundreds of years, but is coming to the surface and being asked to be looked at by the masses in a way that we really haven't seen before, as far as I understand. And so I know people are worried about a lot of things. They're worried. They're afraid to speak up because they're afraid to do it wrong. They're afraid to not speak up because most of us understand that if we're not part of the solution, that we're contributing to the problem in our own way as well. And that this change that's in process, that's being birthed, is going to require contribution from all of us, from people of every color and in every corner of the world, and every corner of the United States where we live, and the Western world. And so people have expressed that they've been really stressed, that they have found the stress to make it harder for them to take care of themselves, to stay on track with their primestering, that some people are feeling like it's hard to feel very hopeful about their own fertility, and it's hard to feel hopeful about bringing a new baby into this world that is really experiencing a lot of struggle and growing pains. or has always experienced a lot of struggle and growing pains in reality. And so we it's not to say that we have all the answers, because we don't. I think if the answers were that simple, we would all be sharing them, and we would all be living them. And this struggle that we are speaking about on the surface, finally, in such a big way, would be behind us already. I'm so happy you're here too, Abby. And let's see, Gretchen is here. Hey, Gretchen. And Jenny. So good to have all of you here. Let's see, check Facebook, baby. So, oh, and Erica. Hi, Erica. She says, hi, love. Hello. We're so happy to be here with all of you. So, what I want to talk a little bit about today is just the reminder that you getting to experience your bliss and your joy and to have the life and the family of your dreams is part of the work. It is one of the greatest acts of rebellion and revolution and resistance that we have available to us. I always say, those of you who are primestering with me always hear me say that the primester in doing this work for our babies and our grandbabies is one of the highest forms of activism available to us on the planet. And I believe that with all my heart. We all need this, and we especially need it if we come from backgrounds that are marginalized, that historically have been marginalized, because that pain and that stress and that trauma, they live in our DNA. They become embedded in our DNA. No matter what our background is, we experience stress and we experience difficulty, and it becomes embedded in our physiology. But when you have a marginalized identity, if you're Black, if you're a person of another color, if you're just being female, if you're from the LGBTQIA community, if you are socioeconomically disadvantaged, or you, even if you're not still today, but you were in childhood, then that physiological burden, that epigenetic burden, is even greater for you. And this is not my opinion. These are not my beliefs. This is what we know from the scientific data, the experiences we have as social beings of different colors, different genders, different classes, different other identities, they deeply impact our mental and physical health and our reproductive health and the health of our children and our grandchildren. And so this is not something that is my opinion. This is something that we know from the data. This can be observed with the scientific method. This can be documented with the scientific method. And so when we are faced with this question of, wow, this is a messy world, do I really want to bring my baby into this messy world? Or how can I ensure that I keep myself healthy for my baby, that I stick with my primester when the world is so messy, when such difficult things are coming to light right now? And I just want to remind you, yes, we all want to do our part, and we must do our part to be part of the solution, to stand up, to speak up for what is right, for what we believe to be right. And yet we cannot give up our peace and our joy. And I know it can sound like our peace and our joy are a privilege that not everybody gets to have. Brown Butter Vintage, I love you. And SFJ Jimule, that's cute. Hi, Elisa. So glad all of you are here. I know it can sound like our joy and our peace and our bliss are such a privilege when people all over the world are suffering, and it's true. And I go through that sometimes too, or a lot. I go through that. It's almost like a form of survivor's guilt, especially if you have a marginalized identity or you came from a difficult beginning or background, like I did, like both of us did. You know, we can look around and be like, whoa, like, thank you, God, so much for this beautiful, amazing life we have. And it's not lost on us that, you know, part of it's just that we were blessed enough to end up here, to land here. right? And I get that, but still, but that doesn't serve anybody. And you suffering and giving up your joy and your bliss and your peace of mind and your positive epigenetic expression is not serving anyone. What is serving your family and for your immediate family and generations of your family and our planet as a whole is for you to primester, to love yourself, to be loving toward yourself and your thoughts. Let that loving way of being, accepting way of being extend to how you think about other people and talk to other people, both similar others and dissimilar others, and create this ripple effect of good health and well-being that will cross generations in your family and that will continue in our planet. And that is really, like I said, one of the highest forms of activism available to us, and one of the greatest forms of revolution and resistance and rebellion. And you know, I'm all for rebellion when it comes to women getting to have both the life and the family of their dreams. I believe it is an act of rebellion today and really throughout history for women to get to have both the family and the life that they dream about having, as opposed to being forced to choose one over the other, which is what I think so many of the prevailing messages try to brainwash us to believe. So I am all for the rebellion, and let's start with the rebellion in not in a hard like pushing way, but in stepping into our full power and self-authority with ease and grace and loving ourselves like crazy, so that we create this rebellion in our own lives and in our own babies and our own families and communities. And do you have anything that you want to add about? I think my hubby, I would guess that if I hadn't said like I'm having children, so if you want to be with me, you're having children, I'm guessing my hubby could have had all kinds of conversations with himself about there's no need to intentionally bring children into this world that is so full of strife. Am I right about that?
Yes, yeah, I certainly would have gone down that road. But I think it would have been short-sighted and working from a fear-based mentality. And, you know, I just think it's very important. Anyone who knows me knows that I have a big thing about deposits and withdrawals. You know, we spend a lot of time making withdrawals of ourselves, of our joy, of our happiness, of our energy, of all these things. And you know,
Yeah.
I encourage people to make more deposits,
Mhm.
deposits into yourself, because when you come from when you're feeling better about yourself and you're a light, it everyone around you experiences that light with you. She's a prime example. She walks into the room and
I
everyone
love you.
lights up. I love you too.
Love you
But
so
it's
much.
true. It's true. It's as simple as you know, when someone does a kind gesture, it feels good. And
Wait, not to interrupt you, but here's another bright light in the world. Dr. Ro, my homegirl is here. I love you, Dr. Roseanne. So glad you're here.
Yes.
Everyone lights up when she walks in the room too. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay, just had to shout out my homegirl.
That's fine. Just that. So, you know, make deposits, fewer withdrawals, and try to unplug from the noise and connect more with yourself and your community.
Yes.
So it's so easy to be, whether it's devices or all this information, a lot of the information is just noise, it's stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise.
You've got to trust your heart, trust your compassion, trust your kindness, and roll with that. Roll with that, connect with that, and unplug from the noise. That's about my 2 cents.
I love that so much. I think it's so true that, and my hubby talks to me a lot about the withdrawals and deposits too, because all of you know that when I fall short of trimester life, it's usually about sleep, and it's because I love my work so much. I love my baby so much. I love my hubby so much. I want to do more and more and more all the time. I love people so much. I love my community so much. I'm always saying yes, and he likes to be the one to remind me that I need to not keep withdrawing without making enough deposits in this way in terms of my energy stores. And I think, but one way I'm really good at making deposits is that I'm very loving to myself in the way that I talk to myself. And I feel really proud of who I am today. Like, I don't think I'm perfect. There are a million more things that I want to do and be and accomplish and experience. And but I feel so happy and in appreciation for who I am today and where I am today. And I believe in my ability to do all of those other things that I still want to do. I believe it without any doubt. And so, because of that, it's easy for me to be loving toward myself instead of to be critical of myself or hard on myself. And I'm able to make deposits in that way. And so the reason why I'm utilizing that example is because I'm saying this is a prime example of how we can want more for ourselves and for the world around us and for our people and for the planet. And we can still feel so much appreciation and joy about what we have today and where we are today. So just remember, when you start to feel hopeless, you start to wonder if the world's ever going to evolve beyond this point, you worry about bringing your baby into a messy world, remember that your joy is so valuable. It counts for so much. Keep going. Let's see. So let me just, you two are amazing. Thank you, Pueblo Street Jewelry. That's so cute. And I like that name. Let's see. And Anne says, yes, I've heard this no, or this reason for not wanting kids in the dating process because they feel it's irresponsible to bring kids into this world. And I've heard lots of people say that, and I hear that fear a lot because one of the things that we do in the very beginning of the trimester protocol is we excavate every possible fear that one could have about getting pregnant and being a parent and raising children. And so that's one that comes up a lot. It's really common. What would you say about that, like in the dating process?
In the dating process, as far as
like if you're a woman who knows, or even a woman or a man or somebody, any gender, who knows that you want to have children, but when you haven't met your person yet, and as you are getting to know other people as you're dating, you hear people say that they don't want to have kids because it feels irresponsible to bring kids into this world.
Well, I say, unless your kid is the one who figures out a way to clean the ocean.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
Figures out ways to change laws to help people, comes up with some invention that brings joy and happiness to people. I mean, we can bring good people into the world.
Yes.
We can bring contributors, like add something, making deposits, someone who's going to help bring joy to other children, bring joy to women and fertility, like this one right here.
Love you. Such a good point, right?
It's easy to focus on the negative because the negative is easy. It's easy to be a critic. It's easy to put all your energy into that. It takes more work to be on the positive side. Yes, it takes more work and more effort, but the reward is triple.
Yeah.
The reward is so great. So all the effort, I tell her all the time, the difference between saying yes and no. If I say no to my kids when they ask me something, it's very final. No, and no steps have to be taken. However, if I say yes, can we go outside? Yes. Okay, then I know I have to take several steps. I have to get drinks ready, food ready. I have to get them dressed, all these additional steps. And sometimes it is challenging, but the reward is so great. They're happy, they're fulfilled. doing the extra is just more enriching, and I want them to be enriched. I want you guys
Mm-hmm.
to be enriched. I want us to be enriched.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires making those deposits, putting in the work, but the reward is fantastic. It is worth it every single time, every single time.
It's so true, babe. That is so true. That it takes a lot more work to say yes to life and to our kids than it does to say no. And you know what else it takes? It takes faith and it takes
Hmm.
vulnerability because, yes, almost everything that we say yes to comes with a gamble of some
Yes,
kind.
yes,
But the positive side is that the potential for amazingness is
yes, it's
so
there.
great. And if you say no,
It's gone.
then they pray exactly.
No amazing will happen. Yes, amazing could happen.
Yes.
No, it's gone. What is
Yes.
it? Is it Jordan? Or I think
Yes.
it's Wayne Gretzky originally, but Michael Jordan said something. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Amen.
I mean,
So true. That's like how that's we live by. We
right.
live by that. And I think it reminds me of you have no idea how much I needed to hear this today. Oh, this feels like heaven sent. I'm so happy. I was like, my hair looks funny, babe. I'm not ready. But he's like, who cares what your hair looks like? Let's go. Okay.
Besides, they're looking at my hair
Yeah,
anyway.
I
So.
know, because your hair's so cute.
Right.
So my community knows that I have zero interest in shopping. And because of that, I only have like 3 shirts. And so I'm always like, oh my God, I need another shirt. But you think it would make me sit down and order some clothes. And I don't, because if I had a choice, I would be dancing with my kids or hanging out with my hubby or doing our FPI mission or working out, whatever. I will always choose that. You look gorgeous, both you. He's always looks so handsome. You look so cute, and I love you. Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. This conversation reminds me of something that dawned on me when we got married and when we fell in love, we got married and we started having our babies, which is that I always knew that meeting Jair would change my life forever. What I didn't fully realize was how our love would change the world forever because we would bring amazing human beings into the world who would go on to make such a big difference in the world. And you look at them, and to me, I mean, obviously, I'm super biased because I'm their mom and I'm completely obsessed with them. And yet, I think objectively, you would look at these human beings and you would think the world is a much better place, an even better place because you exist, because you're here in it. And if we hadn't come together and fallen in love and decided that we wanted to produce, as a result of that love, new human beings to contribute to the world, that wouldn't be there, and I can hardly imagine that could be the case. So I think along what Anne was saying, well, sometimes I hear this when I'm dating, and what you were saying, well, yeah, it's easier to say no, but the opportunity when you say yes is that it can be even better than you
Yes.
ever imagined. And I believe that we and our babies are such a concrete example of that. And let me just say, like, we had no reason to have this be any more special than anybody else. I mean, we started our lives with nothing. We each lost a parent early in life and were raised by single parents. We have struggled our butts off. I mean, now we have this beautiful life, and we have for many years, but it came with a lot of sacrifice and hard work and so many other things. And so I just want you to know, if you're working hard at it, if you're figuring it out, it's so worth it, and keep going, because the possibility is that you get to have these amazing humans that you contribute to the world, who not only you can't live without, but the world can't live without.
So say yes. Because
Yes.
all these things happen for us because we said yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
so true.
Yes. Do you want to do this? Yes.
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 Yeah.
In case of doubt, yes.
I was gonna say, even when it's scary, we say yes. We're like, let's go,
Let's
get
go
uncomfortable.
For it. Let's go for it.
That's what
So,
we talked
yes.
about last week. Be willing to be uncomfortable in the pursuit of excellence and your highest good and the highest good of our world. And that's what we're doing right now with the conversations we're having. And keep primestering, keep loving yourself, keep taking amazing care of yourself, and stay focused on your goal. Do not let all that noise take you away from where you're going. So we love you all so much. Oh my God, you're all so sweet. You're all just, you sent the sweetest messages. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All our love to you all. So we will be back next week. Send us a DM if you have any questions, either here on Dr. Cleopatra or the Fertility and Pregnancy Institute. We'll be announcing our 5 scholarship awardees by the end of the week, which I can't wait to do. Thank you again, Prove, for this awesome partnership and for supporting our community with progesterone testing strips. Thank you, Kelly Levesque, for the opportunity to come and share on your awesome podcast that has been downloaded 1 million times in 5 months. What an honor and a joy to get to celebrate that with you. Heart changing. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. And if you need some support on your fertility, go to fertilitypregnancy.org and download the free checklist there. It has such incredible information that you won't find anywhere else in it. It's free anywhere else, and it's free. And for female identifying people, we welcome you to come be part of our community closed group on Facebook called The Art and Science of Getting Pregnant, The Art and Science of Getting Pregnant. We have such a beautiful group of mamas there. So please come and join us if you want to stay closely connected and hear about our dialogue that goes on every day in there. You'll find it really nurturing and uplifting and really educational. Lots of love to all of you. Thank you so much for being here. And we will be back again next week. See you soon. Peace, thoughts.